happening, everyone? It's Adam from Shisha Central, and today I am reviewing 2 heat management devices. I've got a lot of messages on Instagram, via email, people asking me which new HMD should I buy? Should I buy the Kaloud Lotus or should I buy the Starbuzz Nar? So I thought I'll put it to the test and do a comparison between the 2 of them. So first off, as you can see, the Kaloud, very nice prestige packaging as usual. If I lift the lid up here, you can see that the shape of it has changed a lot from version 1 and version L Plus as well. Take this off here, you have a certificate of authenticity and you have a serial number as well. It was pretty handy and pretty cool to have. When you take out the Kaloud, it's a very different shape. It's more like an egg shape now, egg pod sort of shape. Loads of differences about it. There's no slits at the bottom anymore. The way they've done their airflow system has changed, so at the bottom there's no way of tobacco touching with the coal. Also, the whole look and feel has just really changed quite a lot. I really like it. I think it's better looking than Kaloud Lotus 1 and L Plus, but we will see how it performs in the review. So another feature about the Kaloud, you now have a key. So this key over here does a similar job to what the tongs used to do with the previous versions, where you used to have to lift the lid. So now it's really hard to lift this with tongs. You'll have to lift it with this, as you can see. And also the bottom part of the Lotus, you can't really lift it with tongs either. And with this as well, it's kind of sloped, so this is a bit of a flaw they have with the new one. But overall, it looks good, and we'll see how it performs later on. So now I'm going to go over to the Starbuzz Nar, what is their first heat management device or system, whatever they like to call it. Quite simple, looks a bit like a game controller sort of packaging. Flips open like this. Has some instructions on how to use the Nar. The Nar looks like this, so comes with a little case as well. Comes with a little carrier case, what's pretty cool. Carry it to your mate's house or something. Comes with 2 handles, which can be attached over here. Also got a thermometer on it as well to measure the heat of the coal, so you can find the optimum temperature for your smoke, which is a pretty good idea. The comparison will be with 2 identical bowls. I'm using the HJ Trimony bowls, using the same flavor, which is the Starbuzz flavor, Code 69 mixed with pink, one of my favorites. And I'm using the Matte Pierre. A review for this will be coming out soon. I think it's one of the best shishas in the whole world at the moment. I love it. You'll get an in-depth review on this one in a few weeks time. I'm going to get the coals ready, and we're going to start off by using the Kaloud, and we're going to see how it performs against its Kaloud Lotus 1 and L Plus, and of course how it performs against the Nar. So let me go and do that right now. So guys, as I said before, starting off with the Kaloud Lotus 2, I'm going to first see how it fits on the bowl. So I'm using the HJ Trimony bowl. As you can see, fits nice and snug. I would say it's just above the tobacco. It's not touching the tobacco, as the lip of the bowl is making sure it's a bit higher, but I think it's just about nearly touching the tobacco. I'm going to put this on top now to see if it falls off with any sort of force. So as you can see, it has jolted a bit, so it's not that firm, but it's firm enough if you're not going to actually jolt it too much. I'm now going to put the coals on top. So normally you would start off with a Kaloud. Some people like to put 3 coals, some people like to put 4 coals. It's totally up to you. Even 2 coals will work. So I'm going to start off with 2 coals. Two coals on top. I'm now going to use the actual key, what you need to use for the Kaloud. See, it's a bit difficult to even tell how to do it, so if I put it on like this with my fingers, then you can take it off with this. See, it moves the actual bottom bit as well, so that's a bit of a flaw because when you put this in, it actually moves the bottom part of the Lotus, which when you're smoking it at a lounge, if it falls off, you're screwed. Leave that to settle for around 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Another big difference about Kaloud Lotus 2 with its old predecessors are that there's no vents at the top. They have their own holes at the top already. So it's not like you can open and close them like the old models used to be able to. So that's another significant difference between the old one versus this one. But we have to see how it smokes. I reckon it's probably going to smoke on par. I have tested this once before at a friend's house, and it's pretty good. So hopefully it'll perform quite well. So let's just leave it for another 2 minutes or so. Alright guys, so I've left it for 5 minutes. Let's see how it performs. Already the clouds are quite thick. Yep, you can taste the flavour quite well. Nice thick clouds. Leave the Lotus 2 to sit for 5 minutes. Clouds are pretty thick. Flavour's good. Obviously, with both the Kaloud Lotus 2 and the Nar, the unique sort of point about them is no actual coal is touching the tobacco. Hence, there's more of, you can taste more of the flavour and less of the coal taste. So they both have that feature with them, but we'll see how it performs against the Nar. But yeah, they have some features that are not as good as the original, such as you have to use this instead of the tongs, which as you saw earlier, could be a bit of a hazard. I wish if they didn't have this and just kept it so you could place tongs inside. Let me show you. So these are tongs, yeah? These are just Starbuzz carbine tongs. But let me show you if I try to... So it came off quite easily. But you know when you want to actually play with the tobacco and actually flip the tobacco underneath, like with the old Kaloud, yeah, as you can see now, I'll show you. I don't actually want to take it off because it's going to fall everywhere. But as you can see, you can't do it like you could with the old models. So apart from that, I think overall it's a very good HMD for home use. Not for lounge use. I wouldn't recommend this at lounges unless you really know what you're doing and your smokers know what they're doing as well. But yeah, in the matte pair with the Kaloud and the Trimley bowl, the Clouds are good. Now I'm gonna put the Nar on and put 2 to 3 coals in that device and see how it works on a HJ Trimley bowl as well. So I'm gonna do a comparison. I'm gonna look at all the features like I did with the Kaloud 2, and I'm gonna show off the Nar. So here we go. Test the Nar Head out by Starbuzz. So first I'm gonna put it on. As you can see, it's not as sturdy as well. Similar to the Kaloud, you know, they have all of these ones have this sort of problem where they have a lip at the bottom, but for some reason, the size of this specific bowl, it's not that friendly with it. So there's a bit of actually wait. This is the top portion of the Nar, the base compartment. I mean, it comes with 2 rubber handles, as you can see here, and a thermometer. The thermometer actually comes out like this. So I'm going to start off with a full-on comparison with 2 coals as well, like I did with the Kaloud Lotus. Actually, let me put one small one in there as well, one little small coal as well, because these coals have gone down a bit. Now I'm going to put the lid on. So you have to make sure you don't put the coal in the center of the Nar, otherwise this won't close. So you have to make sure there's space for the thermometer part. That's it. As you can see, they have these vents at the top. One bad thing about these vents is you'll always have to use a toothpick or tongs for them, because when it does heat up, you don't want to touch that. It'll burn you really badly. So even when you move the top lid part, it doesn't actually move the vents. So it's a bit of a flaw in my opinion. So yeah, you have to use tongs or toothpick for this. So for now, while it's heating up, I'm gonna shut the vent, and we're gonna wait 5 minutes, exact same time we waited for the Kaloud, and see how this Nar Head performs on the map here. So let's give it 5 minutes now. Yeah, so guys, it's been 5 minutes. First I want to show you the thermometer. So if you look at it right now, it says it's at 600. I'm more than sure it needs to be at around 750 to 800 for it to smoke properly, but it's been 5 minutes. Direct comparison against the Kaloud Lotus 2, and let's give it a try. Even if you film the bass quickly, you can see there's no smoke coming in there either. Still nothing happening. I'm not going to waste my lungs right now. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes, so in 10 minutes we'll see what it's saying then. Yeah, so guys, I waited 10 minutes, still wasn't starting up, so now I've waited about 16-17 minutes, and I'm going to give it a go because it's actually gone up to 750, so bit better. So this is after 16 minutes of the coal sitting inside, so it's pretty long. I wouldn't like to wait that long for my shishas to start up, to be honest. Clouds are pretty good. I wouldn't say as good as the Kaloud Lotus clouds, but still pretty good. Because it took 16 minutes to start up, I would not recommend this for lounges. Last thing you want is your customers being impatient, and you don't want shisha to take 25 to 30 minutes to come out. So for lounges, do not buy this. It's not suitable for a lounge. For home smokers, I can see why they would like it. It looks very different to the other heat management systems. It has more of a military effect. The metal on it must be really thick, hence the reason why it's taken so long to start up. So it is hefty quality, it's quite heavy and stuff. So that's quite good. No point in having handles on it because they're gonna burn you anyways. As you can see, I have to let go of it now. It's not a full round heat management device in my opinion. It's got loads of tweaks that need to be made to it to make it good. And also the thermometer's gone a bit brown as well. It's in colour, don't know what sort of fault that is. But yeah, so between the Starbuzz Nar and the Kaloud Lotus 2, in my opinion, the Kaloud Lotus 2 beats it in nearly every aspect. Apart from the sturdiness that the Kaloud has on the bowl versus this. This one's a bit more sturdy on the bowl, whereas the Kaloud was a bit more flimsy. But apart from that, I personally, for home and for lounge, would pick the Kaloud 2 Lotus, but still the best heat management device in my mind is still the Kaloud L Plus or the original Kaloud Lotus. They're still the best, but these two versions that have come out, if you were going to buy one, if you want to add something to your collection, definitely go for the Kaloud. But if you want to buy both, you know, they're just £5 difference. The Starbuzz Nar can actually be bought from shishagear.com and starbuzzlondon.com, £59.99. And then the Kaloud Lotus 2 for UK smokers, you can buy it on eBay and on Amazon Prime via a company called Conis Limited. They're a very good company that sell loads of HJ bowls, a lot of Russian products, and a lot of different clouds and heat management devices as well as the Matt Pierre shishas. They got everything you need for a professional smoker. So yeah, go onto eBay or onto Amazon, check out Conis Limited, and you can buy the Kaloud from there at £64.99, so £5 more. I hope you enjoyed the review. I'm going to have a few more reviews coming out soon. First things first, I'm going to review the Matt Pierre Simple Shisha. It's one of my favourites, to be honest, all-time favourite shishas. So that'll be coming out soon. And then I have some more flavour reviews as well coming out. So I hope you enjoyed the comparison between the two HMD devices, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.